How early are we to this cryptocurrency market? Let's find out. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit that bell button, like, and leave a comment. It does really help. So we want to talk about the question about how early are we going to make it to the big time? Obviously it's all ifs, whats, whens, etc. But the one thing that we do need to talk about is there's been a dynamic shift in terms of how the market has behaved, and most importantly, who are watching the market more importantly. Now, I'm not going to go about bearish news about potential regulations, because in my opinion regulation could be a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know the full outcome yet, so there's no point speculating on if and what until things are actually done. We're going to talk about the present and the now and what is happening over the last few weeks and last few months, especially with who's getting involved in the space. And I'm going to try and explain this in terms of people who are relatively new to the space, relatively new to this channel as well. Hi, welcome. But if you are kind of worried about this sort of pullback, especially when you look at the facts here of what's happening in the industry, markets work in a certain weird way. Now, I'm going to explain this in a very simple way. We've pulled back 11% from that top level. We could go a lot lower. Now, the reality is, in a bull market, a 30% pullback is the norm. It really is. And markets always have a push and they have a pull. Push, pull, right? There's always going to be a winner, there's always going to be a loser, right? There's a lot of winners in this market through investing early, like for myself, not to be obviously talking about that, but I invested some years ago. I'm obviously going to be in a much better position than someone that started yesterday, for example. You've got to build it up, but you've got to look at the long-term picture. If in doubt, zoom out, and I want to explain that as well. A lot of people look at these time frames and start panicking. Now, for me, if you start seeing a massive parabolic shoot, just wait and find out and see what happens. Nothing's going to go to the moon overnight. It really isn't. Now, expect this, in my opinion, to pull back. If this does pull back 30%, it'll be off the average. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if we see Bitcoin go down to 13k. It really wouldn't. It doesn't bother me at all if it does. It's an opportunity to buy more at that potential level, or ultimately altcoins. Realistically though, potentially we could actually see this level really simply again, 16k, which would be a 20% pullback. Pullbacks happen, right? Don't worry about them. So, step number one, we need to talk about what's happening in the news and why things are starting to gear up in terms of not so much adoption, but just eyeballs, realistically, just interest of investors. And we may not be that far away from mainstream adoption, i.e. maybe 2-3 years from now, where it's quite common to see people trading crypto, using crypto, accepting crypto, all that sort of. But we've got to look as well at the big players. I've got a feeling, personal opinion, that people are not scared of crypto as what they used to be. I think since the COVID crash and seeing that miraculous kind of rebirth, the rise of the phoenix, dropping from that big massive 55% dump in one day and where it is now. Likewise, what I said on my live Zoom with my members recently, I said to people, would you have expected us to be at 19, 20k give or take levels off the back of that within the same calendar year? Most people said no. And yeah, I would say the same thing. So that's kind of helped. So what we're seeing here, Singapore's DBS Bank announced plans to launch BTC, XRP and Ethereum offering. So that's big. Singapore, very friendly with the world of crypto. They're used to it. They've got a lot of projects coming in and out of cryptocurrency. And this is kind of very interesting. So this platform here, the National Stock Exchange of Singapore, SGX, will offer a 10% stake in the new trading platform according to said peoples. Now, this is massive in terms of the ability of what I've talked about as well recently about what I think one of the trends of 2021 will be is index funds using cryptocurrency, which is like a basket of coins using them. And this is a similar sort of ilk. A cryptocurrency exchange which will offer that side of it as a part of their bank, which is huge. So in the UK, you can trade stocks with your bank. This is similar sort of element in terms of using the Singapore dollar over in Singapore. Huge. The next one, this was only announced 15 hours ago. Mass Mutual make $100 million investment in Bitcoin. Now, I mentioned it a video ago. big companies have been saying, like some MicroStrategy, we have bought Bitcoin at X amount, we have bought this much on this day for this price. Who's coming to do it with us? This is like the come out and get us kind of plea. Come and match us if you think you're hard enough, right? This is the next one that's come out. The Wall Street Journal has reported on the 10th of December that a firm has purchased $100 million worth of Bitcoin. It adds to their small part of their mutual or mass mutual overall strategy. The firm's general investment account holds about $235 million in other assets, meaning Bitcoin makes up 0.5% of its overall holdings. It's like, oh, what? But I have got hair, by the way. Moving on. That is only 0.5%, right? And this is where this tangent of video is going to go. I mentioned recently on a tweet, imagine if only 5 to 10% of the overall wealth from all these companies over time goes into crypto. It is massive. It's huge because it's new money, it's fresh money, it's real money. Well, is it real money? I don't know. But you know what I mean. It's diversification. What people are seeing now with the world of crypto is its use case, its usability. It's volatile, but they can make money on it. They've probably noticed that this is a money maker. Well, guess what happens, boys and girls? There's always a buyer and a seller. There's always a winner and a loser. If you go with the winners, you're gonna probably win. Moving on to obviously the next bit of news. This is again similar sort of ilk, not too long ago released. Grayscale have reportedly added another 1.3 thousand BTC. I don't know what that is in real money these days. And 100,000 Ethereum. So again, they're adding to their stockpile. They've got a lot now. They've got so much. So this is huge, as you can see here. This is what they've got. So let's just have a little look at the spreadsheet. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, boys and girls. There you go. So they've been accumulating really, really aggressively, like very aggressively. And you can just see how it's just been adding and adding and adding and adding and just every day they're just buying a little bit. It's just absolutely savage. So as I say, I personally feel that we are majorly early, and this is just the start of what's to come in the next 5 to 10 years of accumulation cycles of cryptocurrencies. Now, we're going to have other cryptocurrencies as well, which are going to be obviously of interest. The likes of Ethereum, as you can see here. Obviously, maybe we may see the likes of Chainlink getting bought up because of the Oracle side of it. The likes of Cardano, the likes of VeChain, maybe, who knows, because of what they're doing in the supply chain, their partners in big places. People will be buying assets to hold due to value proposition for fundamental elements in the future. The only reason why they're buying mainly Ethereum and Bitcoin is because of the test of time. What about when altcoins that have proven themselves over a period of time and they've got a good product and use case, what are they going to do? Well, my opinion, they're probably going to go up in value as well. Next one, bit of simple ideology. Millennials will boost Bitcoin adoption for years to come. This is from the BlockFi CEO. Now, obviously, us, ourselves, it's very easy to access investment strategies and investment advice and also getting invested. It takes 2 seconds on your phone to go onto Coinbase and do it, you know, simple. Like so stock market investing, trading, it's a similar sort of ilk. The available market information is getting bigger and better in every single time. When we see news like this, it's very, very bullish and it's going to bring new people to the market. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest that technology-driven people will most likely use the likes of Bitcoin more than anything else, the likes of Ethereum, whatever. So it's huge. Alternative assets under management topped 10 trillion in June. Absolutely crazy. Baby boomers to inherit. Oof, it's going to be key. Now, we'll talk about volume, interest, tradable. The volume of the Forex market, I know Forex is totally different, but I mentioned as well the other day, central bank stable currencies, right? They're starting to become more of a thing. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if we start seeing more tradable assets like that, where countries are using those stable currencies to pass information and pass currency dealings and volume via the blockchain. This would make a big difference to this market as well, in my opinion. Obviously, it'll shrink the volume of fiat currencies, obviously, because you've got the ability to use a similar sort of thing on a blockchain. It's going to create a little bit of opportunity there as well with liquidity. Key, in my opinion. Moving on to the final bit of news is This is an old bit of news, but I want to just address the fact of gold. It's currently at $9 trillion. And what Bitcoin is roughly, give or take, what is it, $400 billion in terms of market cap? In my opinion, really small. When you compare the fact versus gold, when you compare the fact that Bitcoin's been around for 10 years versus gold, obviously, it's still, in my opinion, very, very new. It is incredibly, incredibly new. And I know a lot of people are panicking, and I'm just trying to explain to people why you should be patient, why you should be thinking long term, why you should be looking for opportunities to accumulate more with money you can afford to lose in the correct zones, i.e. pullbacks, and be patient with it. If you're an investor in cryptocurrency today or tomorrow or next week, you've got to see it out for the future, because one thing's for sure, what I've just revealed to you guys on this video is who are interested, why they're interested, pretty much because of certain things and environments of why they want it. They're looking for first move advantage. In my opinion, we're already in that first moving seat. There's going to be an adoption cycle. There's going to be a full mass scale rollout cycle as well when you think long term. Just got to ask yourself a question. In 20 years time, will you be kicking yourself for not putting any sort of interest in this market at all, or was it just a fad? Are you going to disappear when things do turn around and gets bearish again? Markets go up and down. Look at the stock market, look at other markets as well. So I hope you enjoy. Christmas jumper day today in the UK. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this, all for charity, go and check it out. Google it, Christmas jumper day, all kinds of information in the UK if you're interested. So have a good weekend even, and I'll see you again on Monday.